one day, I kid you not, foundation plus some black, I think eyeshadow, what she's trying to make it darker. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking to myself, are you crazy? You really think you're going to put this on my face? I'm like, please don't insult me. Like, I'm a model, yes, but I'm a human being.
Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of the A1 with Moyin. And today, well, I am seated with Adeola. You know, isn't that how that song goes now?
I was praying. Please don't.
We're here with model and TV presenter Adeola Ariyo.
Adeola.
I
feel like I need to stand out now because everyone's Adeola. No, Adeola, please call me Adeola from now on because that song.
Yeah. And apparently it's some like white UK boy who's like,
yes.
Adeola, and I was like,
Adeola, I want to roll with a geezer. No, I don't. And it's not even me. It's not me. And why my name? Like, why? Why?
Yeah.
But you know what? It happens. It's like,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Seriously. Like, what can I do?
That is so true. So, okay, you are originally from Nigeria, like me. Yes. And on this channel, on the podcast, essentially we're focusing on how you became who you became today. I mean, you've done some incredible things. You were the face of Elizabeth Arden. Mm-hmm. I mean, you had billboards. I mean, you're still on billboards, even now.
Apparently so.
Still on
like,
billboards.
Running my check, Arden.
Yes. You've been amazing model for years. Like, you would be Africa's version of a supermodel.
Yeah, technically. But I mean, like, I've never been one to put that label on myself for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, when I look at things and I'm like, wait a minute, when I look back, Cosmo done it. Fashion Weeks done it.
Yeah.
Campaigns did them.
And not just that, so but like here in SA, also in Nigeria, also in London. Like it's not even that it's...
I was not just in one place. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. We are friends, so this is gonna be. I mean, I'm genuinely friendly with them, but I've known Adeola for a while.
Don't expose me.
So this is gonna be interesting. But for those who may not know, so she's had an incredible and still has an incredible modeling career. She's a TV presenter, a title that has officially been added to the name. So I want to start with the beginning of when, I guess with modeling, they'll say, oh, when were you scouted or when were you picked? So let's start there. When did that all start for you?
It started when I was 13, which feels like a long time. I mean, it is a long time ago, you know, and it's funny because when people ask me, that's the first question I get asked. When did you start? And in my mind, I'm like, wow, I started. Sometimes I have to respond to people that weren't even born when I started. Yeah. So like, well, sweetie, a long time ago. But yeah, no, it started when I was 13 in London. And it was one of those situations where I was minding my business and then it just kind of fell on my lap. As with a lot of things that happen to me generally, which I've found. So it was just one of those, get scouted. I'm like, who, what, where? I had no clue what was going on. But then my dad was with me, so he kind of became my chaperone. You know, I had an agency. I was signed to like one of the best agencies in London at the time. If I knew then what I know now, I'd have been like, excuse me, do you know who I am? No, just joking. No, but I mean, like, I had the same agency with like Kate Moss and Naomi Campbell. Like, we were with the same, you know? So in my mind at the time, I didn't really know that it was kind of a big deal, you know, and then I did that for a few years and then I left London and I went to Nigeria. And then that's when my modeling kind of went down because in Nigeria, it was just about school. I was still in high school, you know, so where was I going to go and do what, where? With who?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I didn't even think about modeling at all when I was in Nigeria until later on, when Face of Africa came back. So Face of Africa stopped airing, or the competition stopped for a few years. I didn't even know any of this because I didn't even know what Face of Africa was until it came.
Yeah.
You know, and then my aunt was like, oh, since you know how to model and blah, 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 why don't you try this thing out? You know. I was like, okay, all right, let's see.
Yeah.
Because the thing with me, when I started modeling, I was this height. Yeah. So in everybody's minds, I was gonna be like 6 something. I'm 5'8.5", not even 9. Like I'm struggle, like 5'8.5".
Yeah.
So they probably thought, oh well, she's still growing. She's gonna. So when I got older, I was like, no, why should I model when models are taller than me? Like I don't feel that I would be able to do what they do because I'm actually not. I'm like. You know when you get requirements? When they say you have to be taller than this to go on that ride. That's me in the modeling world. Like I am the lowest, like I'm the shortest you can be for runway and, you know, as a normal model. So for me, I was like, oh, no, but I'll just go anyway. I just finished high school and I had some sort of a break. I was meant to have gone on summer holiday that summer, but I got into trouble, so I got left behind. And then everybody else went. So when I got left behind, I went for this competition. And then I got chosen. And then before I knew it, I think a month after, I was in South Africa. Sure. And that's how it all kind of started for me, to be honest.
I have so many questions. Firstly, how long did you live in London?
I lived in London for 9 years.
So you moved to London
when I was 9 when I moved to London. I turned 10 in London. Okay. And then I left London when I was 16, thereabouts. Then I stayed in Nigeria till I was 18, 19? 18. I turned 19 in South Africa.
Sure. Because winning the Face of Africa meant moving this side?
Yeah, so the competition was this side already. So we were already here. Sure. So I got moved from home, family, everybody into this big apartment with different girls from different parts of the continent, which for me was like, whoa. Yeah. I didn't even know that country existed. Oh my God, we all speak English. Like that's, it was the most, I promise you, because I was just like, okay, how do I deal with being around people from different cultures, different countries, and we have to stick together for a whole month. I have to know how to deal with all these strangers all of a sudden. There were 2 other Nigerian girls with me who apparently were not happy because, Adeola, why are you not staying with us? Like, why are you talking to the other girls? I'm like, excuse me, I've been stuck with Nigerians for all my life. Please, just hi guys, you know, like, let me get to know other people. Let me get to understand cultures, the kind of music. It was interesting to find that we listened to the same type of music, you know, because coming from, I left Nigeria, I went to England, I was open to a different world there. Yeah. Where most Black people that I knew then were Nigerians, Ghanaians, Jamaicans, the British Black. Yeah. So not like, or even if it's like a South African, they were British as you know, for as long as they are concerned. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm meeting a South African that's come from. No, I know a South African in high school in London because you told me you were South African, but you were born here. Yeah. So there was a huge difference. So I was dealing with girls who came from, you know, so it's like, this is interesting. So, and then that's when I also found out that I don't do too well with too many girls in the same space because y'all drama, like, females have drama. Like, they talk about, and I'm just like, really? Can we not talk about something else? Like, So I found out then that I don't really do well with a lot of females in one space for too long. Yeah. And it makes sense because when I was younger, I hung out with guys a lot because I was more of a tomboy. So I did the boyish things, and now I was thrown into this, now we have to, makeup. And I'm like, huh?
Into a model house, essentially.
Into a model house.
Yeah.
a single bed, like, you know, and then we all had to go to castings together. We all had to get ready at the same time because they took us to the same castings. Like, I was just like, how on earth are we supposed to do this? Like, you know, so I had to like figure out a way to it was kind of like boarding school.
Yeah.
So you wake up early, make sure you have a shower before the hot water runs out. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
Know how to store your food in the fridge so they don't steal it. Write your name on it. You know, if they do steal it, pour something else in there. So they pour like, I don't know, lemonade in their cereal when they think it's milk. Like, I did that because, no, I did do that because people took the piss. Like, don't touch my food.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting. It was really interesting. And then I just kind of started working after the competition. I stayed. A lot of girls went back home.
Yeah. Why did you stay?
I was making money. I was like,
listen, that's a good reason to stay.
I was like, listen, Daddy, about that university that you're talking about. See, after all, is it not get degree to make money? I'm making it already. I'm staying. And then my dad was like, okay, fine, stay as long as you can go to school and get a degree and blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, fine, I will. And then I tried to study. I started studying in 2007. So I came to South Africa in 2005.
Yeah.
So I tried to start studying in 2007. No. I would miss exams. I'm like, wait a minute, they're paying me 40,000 rand for that job and you want me to sit down here and be ticking ABC? No! No. No way. So like I missed out on a lot, like exams, assignments. I'll be sitting like in a shoot, especially during fashion week.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us started studying at the same time because I was modeling with other girls who were younger than me. And because I was starting university, quote unquote, late, we were kind of doing the same thing at the same time. So like we would all be underneath like a rail and with earphones in, trying to do assignments and make sure you like submit on time and stuff like that. And then after a while, I was like, you know what, actually, this studying thing can stay chill because at the end of the day, you're not running anywhere. Are you? No, you're not. Okay, so stay where you are. Let me make my money, stay where you are. I did that, got comfortable doing that until it came to a point when I was like, wait a minute, this school thing, I'm not really gingered anymore. And I don't want a situation where it becomes a chore. So let me try and finish school and still model and travel and party and do everything all at the same time. And I somehow managed to. It took me a long time. But at the end of the day, I got it done. And the older I got, the more I realized that I started understanding certain things about myself. So I started understanding that you can't force me to do something unless I want to do it. So you can't tell me go to class if I'm not going. If I go, I'm not gonna do what you want me to do there because my mind isn't there. So I learned that about myself, and I said, you know what, you need to balance this thing out and figure out a way to do this in a way that you enjoy it and still be able to do the other things that you do. So modeling, like agencies have like agency parties and it's like a good networking thing. You don't want to miss that. So like I would literally not sleep. So when we come back from the club, my books, my books. And my friends were like, Adeola, I'm like, yeah.
And
You know, or like straight from the club to like a job, and then from there my books, and I'm like, wait, how am I doing this? And the thing is, people don't realize how powerful they are until they actually do things. Like you think, oh my gosh, that when you think about it, whoa, I don't think I can do that. I feel like, oh, I might not be. But then you don't realize when you're actually doing it until you look back and you're like, oh, I did that. I can say it now that I did that. Like I was up at 4 a.m. looking at assignments, you know, and making sure it was done because I had a job at like 8 the following day, you know, and it's just like, this is the world, the life that I chose. So I need to be the best that I can
Yeah.
in doing this thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
And for some reason, God loves me clearly.
He does.
He does. Like, everything just kind of worked out for me. And yeah, like, I would never say don't study or start modeling and, if it's there. I would advise you to actually try and study if that's what you want. Get it out of the way, and then, because you're freer.
Yeah.
You don't have like your conscience is not like patting you on the back like, yo, you need to do something. You need to go home. You need to do this. You're free, you know. But I managed to somehow get it all done. And finally, like, got the degree, and now I'm looking at it like this. Like, hey, okay, you're here now. Oh yeah, what now? You're here. What? What am I doing with you? What a waste of my time. I'm joking.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So when Face of Africa was in Joburg.
Yeah, so the boot camp was in Zambia.
Yes.
So we flew to Zambia, and then they started like cutting people off. You know how they do these competitions. Bye, you made it, pack your bags, all that. We went through all of that. We had to pack our bags every week? Every Friday.
Wow.
Because you never know.
Yeah, exactly. You might leave. You might have to take your bag home.
Yeah, so you never know. So it was in Zambia, and then the finals was in Johannesburg, in Sun City.
Yeah.
And then the top 5 got moved to Cape Town.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up in Cape Town. And then I was like, I like it here.
Yeah.
I can find my way. The mountain is there. The ocean is there.
I think people don't understand. Like, if you've never lived in Cape Town before, the mountain is your GPS.
Literally. You don't understand. Like, there's no way you can put me in this Cape Town. As long as I can see that mountain, I know home is there.
Exactly. I used to get lost all the time.
Really?
I used to get lost all the time. But I'll get lost when I'm going away to try and like find a place.
Other places.
So I was always comfortable enough to know I knew how to get back home. That anywhere that I need to go, I just need to get to the mountain, Cape Town, like town, and then everything else.
Yeah.
So I met you. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. Do you remember how we met? Okay, so I can't remember either.
Oh my days.
But
Was it with Cynthia?
No, it was before. Because at that time I was still modeling. Do you know that you were actually the reason I knew that I didn't want to be a model?
Why?
Yeah.
What did I do?
I didn't care about it like you did. Listen, I hated going to castings. I hated spending hours in castings. And then here I am sitting with Adeola. Adeola's so passionate about this thing. And I'm just like, look, this is not me. Because I knew at that point that like you were in the right industry for you and I wasn't. Because of your love and passion for it. Because for me, going to castings just became such a chore.
Yeah.
And I think you can handle the negatives of an industry that you want to be in, because if we start talking about the modeling industry,
whoa, rejection. You and rejection like this.
Best friends.
Best friends.
And I think at that time I was just like, do I really want to do this?
Do you want to put yourself through it?
So I think the first time we met, it was Fashion Week, and at that time, I don't know if I was modeling or not, but at that time, you know how you have dressers?
Yeah.
So when the model gets backstage, there's people that help the model.
They literally dress you. And I'm like, sweetie, I can do that myself. You don't need to wear my I can wear it myself. They literally dress you, like literally.
Yeah, so my sister, Modipe's friend, I think, because I can't remember, Modipe's friend's parent, I think, owned the company that handled the dresses. So that's how I got involved somehow. Because I think I was modeling at the time, but I wanted to be at Fashion Week. And they're like, come through and see whatever. And so I think that's the first time I knew of you. I don't remember the first time we met.
I also can't remember.
But it's been a while. But yeah, you were the reason. Every time I look back at that period of my life, I was like, because I was tall, skinny. Oh, why don't you model? That moment when we had a conversation, whenever it was, of like, okay, Adeola loves this industry. I'm not cut for it. Because you do go through a lot. So
absolutely.
And when you won Face of Africa.
I didn't win. I love how everyone thinks I won. Well, I mean, maybe it was meant to be. Well. Sorry, Kay. I didn't win.
Kate won.
No, Kaune won my year.
Oh, Kaune won your year.
Yes, she won my year. She won my year, and then out of all of us, so out of the top five, we were the only two that were consistent with work.
Wow.
So, and then there was this thing. We were the same height. We were the same everything. We kind of used to dress alike. We were very much alike.
Yeah.
So people used to mistake us a lot, which I didn't understand because I'm not bald.
Yeah.
Because she was not bald, but like she had no hair at the time. So I'm like, but you guys clearly, come on.
Yeah.
And one's darker than the other. Like.
Yeah, she's quite darker.
So I was just like, okay, continue to mix us up and stuff, but like, so then it became a thing of like, there was some sort of, I don't even know if I should be saying this or not, but anyway, whatever. Some sort of competition-y, thingy-majiggy bob thing. And I'm like, sweetie, this walk that we're walking, as long as you don't look like me, you are not my competition.
Facts.
And I don't understand, like people, modeling is the one job. It's not like you're a lawyer and I'm a lawyer. We have the same qualifications and now they have to choose between us. That's competition.
Yeah.
But if you put me and you in one room, just because I didn't get it today does not mean I'm not as good as you are.
Yeah.
It means I am not the face or the look they're looking for.
Yeah.
So like that whole competition thing, what's meant to be for you will forever land on your laps. Like it might take 5 years, 10 years, 2 seconds. But like I never really understood that part of things. So people, whenever they would say stuff like, oh yeah, so you won. I'm like, no, but thanks. But no, it was the other wasn't me, it was her. Yeah, so it was kind of, no, till today, people still say, oh, you won. I'm like, no. Not everyone that wins. Like, that's another thing with competition.
Yes.
People always think because this person won, it means that they're the only ones that are going to do well in life or whatever. But like a lot of people have not won something and have done just as well or even better than the person who won. Yeah. So like when I feel like competition should be scrapped out of the dictionary, to be honest, because it makes people feel some certain type of way that they shouldn't feel. Yeah. You know, and it's just one of those things where it's like, if it's not for you today, it doesn't mean it's not going to be for you another time, you know? So, yeah, but there was, I sensed a lot of competition. I mean, there are certain jobs you get and then you notice one girl is not talking to you anymore. I'm like, hello, am I the producer? Why are you mad at me? Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me.
And the industry was like that a lot.
It was, like, it was, you know, and then, like, imagine my apartment was 10 girls and we all went to the same casting.
Oh yeah.
And at the time, Kaone would book the jobs. Yeah. Why? Because she was the face of, so automatically, you know. So like a lot of girls were feeling, and I feel like that's the reason why some didn't stay, because after a while I stopped working.
Really?
Yeah. No, not I stopped. Sorry. As soon as we came, I wasn't working, and we came in July. So come towards like Christmas time, okay, everybody's going home now. A lot of people didn't come back. I came back because just before I left, I booked one of my first jobs proper. Yeah. I was able to pay for my work permit. I was able to, because my agency were also like, well, right now your bills are So in order for them to not do this, you need to go so that they can. Literally, they told me they can't. That you need to go home. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, take me out of your apartment, that's fine. But
Yeah.
like, I'm not going anywhere. And then boom, just like that, I started working. Oh, hi, Adeola. So today you have this. I'm like, oh, so now we're friends.
See, that's the thing, because you start accruing expenses as a model before you get paid.
Yeah.
Right? And so here I was, and so I remember, I think that's also something that was just like, I'm not even in, I don't really want to be a model, and I'm accruing expenses anyway, and all of these things. And even that sense of competition, I remember I would go for castings. People wouldn't even say hi.
They would say hi. I'm like, if you like, carry that stank face inside there. They will see it and you won't get the job. Smile. Like, what the hell? Smile.
And it was this thing of like, oh, well, and there's so many people at a casting that like one or two people are going to get this in the end. For everyone to be upset and like at each other, you know, like being snarky with each other and whatever, just because we're all here for that one job.
Also, do yourself a favor. If you read the brief and it doesn't fit you, don't go! Jesus Christ! Like, oh my God!
It was so simple. We're just so weird. There'll be a brief that will be like...
They're looking for a mom.
And
That time you're 21 and you don't look like a mom, so why are you going?
Why are you going? Because you're accruing expenses from your agencies. You're spending money going to castings, having sure that you had the, you know, keeping whatever look. Because if they book you for one, if this is your look, if you're short hair, whatever, you always short hair. You always this and whatever. And I was just like, yeah, I don't think, because I just remember looking at you and be like, yo, you really enjoy where you're at, and I need you could handle some of the obstacles that come with it. Because another thing at that time was that, and this for me, modeling must have been 2000 and that was in varsity. That was 2009, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. And at that time, black girls, not like not light-skinned black girls. Dark.
Black.
Exactly, as I was saying, like dark-skinned black girls. I have pictures that like I pray people don't go find. Yeah. Because my cheeks are not supposed to be pink.
Yeah. People say, you don't post your work. I'm like, yeah, honey, because I'm not trying to look crazy on my Instagram. No way. I remember it was bad.
I remember this one time I did a magazine shoot. And because I know you've actively and openly spoken about this on social media, right? It's unfortunately in Cape Town, it's a bit much sometimes. Yeah. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like I need to like watch this woman do my makeup. But then they didn't put us into this room or whatever. There was no like mirrors or anything.
There's never a mirror.
And I had to hope and pray. And you go straight from makeup straight onto set.
Yep. It's so psychologically damaging. Like, you think you're the problem when you're not. You do a job, they don't call you back. And you know you did everything you needed to do.
Yeah.
But it wasn't you. It was the person who painted your face.
Or not even, did you ever have an experience where you were booked, but they couldn't do your makeup?
Absolutely. So many times. Clueless. Hey, I'm just going to mix this with, I'm a sweetie. Do I look like a canvas? You're not mixing anything. What do you mean?
Oh my gosh.
One day, I kid you not, foundation plus some black, I think eyeshadow, what she's trying to make it darker. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking to myself, are you crazy? You really think you're going to put this on my face? I'm like, please don't insult me. Like, I'm a model, yes, but I'm a human being. You can't be mixing. You're a makeup artist.
Yeah.
How do you...
Like, I'm extremely grateful for advocates of foundation shades.
Oh.
I was booked for a job with the brand is still alive, a big makeup brand. And I'm grateful that they did it this way, though, because they had like one, sometimes they'll fly down like their head makeup artist, blah, 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 for the brand. And then she just kept looking at me, and I was like, I still new. I'm like,
She was freaking
something?
out, honey. She
She
was
was
like, in her mind, she's like, oh my God.
She comes to me, she's like, I am so sorry. We don't have your shade. And so I was just like...
And you're even lighter than me. Imagine me.
And I was like, okay. And I left because there's nothing else to do. And so, and you started early. So in all those years of like going through that constantly, right? Having those constant, rejection is your best friend as a model.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
It's just one of those things. Yeah.
Having all that time of that, having experiences on set that are unfortunate would be a kind way to put it, but then really not catered for a dark-skinned model.
Yeah. What
made you stay?
I don't give up easily.
Yeah, but I don't like this.
No, I don't give up. And I had to figure something out. Okay, fine. You don't have my foundation. Cool. I'll bring my own. And don't you dare tell me you're not going to... I've been doing makeup for 20 years. Okay, but you ain't been doing this face for 20 years. So here's my foundation. Thank you. Like, you're not going to make me look crazy because now you're fumbling my bag.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Did any of it, though, make you question yourself?
Absolutely. Almost all the time. Because it's like, okay, because you sit there and then like the clients are sitting there, makeup is there, and makeup's best friend, hair, is also there. Then there's lighting and there's photography and everything there. And then you, the quote unquote star of this whole production, you are left to feel like you're on your own.
Yeah.
Because clients can see that makeup is doing rubbish, but clients will not say anything to makeup. Photographer will now come and say, we need to change the light because no, if she had done the right thing on me in the first place, you would have been good. But because you guys never want to come together as one, till today, models are just models. No, if not for me, you would not be getting your big ass billboard or your window photo, whatever. So like, you need to make sure that I am okay. But when you don't say anything, and then I can see, because I know what I look like, and then I can see on the screen that, hang on a minute, that's not me.
Yeah.
Firstly, my eyebrows are not shaped that way. Neither are they thin like that. So why? And even if they are, I like them thick. You booked me because you saw them thick. So, you start questioning yourself that, am I good enough for this? Like, or is it because of am I too dark? Like, am I the problem? Mentally, it can mess you up, seriously. And I feel like people that want to go into this industry need to understand that you need to have a you need to have a strong backbone, because they will try to break you in so many ways and make you feel like they're doing you a favor when it's the other way around. Actually, no, they're not doing you a favor. You are helping them achieve what they need to get done. Yeah. Without you, they won't be paid to do what they're doing. And models always feel like they need to, no. And that's why they don't like me. I'm the troublemaker. I talk. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah. If I know what I'm supposed to be and I know how I am, and then I come on set and you make me look crazy, or you make me feel some type of way, or you think you don't need to feed me because I'm a model, you must be mad. Yeah. And when you raise these things up, they say, oh, there she goes again. I'm like, but if we don't talk, how will things change? Because a lot of models are very scared. They don't want to mess up anything or upset anyone because, oh my God, they might not book me again. Yeah, because that was the thing, is like, it's, your last job, it's the whole media industry, like your last job, your next job is based off of your last job. And like, and it's a small one, so they all talk. Small industry, everyone talks. And so now if, it was, you couldn't call out at the time. At the time, especially. It was hard to call out the problematic ways because you still wanted to book another job. Of course. Yeah. But now where I am, there's nothing I haven't done here. So I can speak
Yeah.
for the little ones coming. I'm not afraid. If like, don't book me. I don't care. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, if we don't change, they will just continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. It will be a cycle, a vicious cycle that will never, never end.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to speak as much as I can. You know? And I feel like the reason why I did very well in my industry is because I always came prepared. And like, you have to kind of figure out the kind of people that you are working with. So if I get a job, I always ask them, who's the makeup artist, who's the hair? Because I need to know. If I know you, then I know I'm good.
Yeah.
If I don't recognize your name, I'm bringing a whole suitcase. Like, I will, down to my tail comb. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's like, you can't be a hairstylist and not have a tail comb for a black girl's hair. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You can't have hairspray and not have gel. Things like that. Yeah. So they enjoyed that because now I'm doing them a favor by bringing all my, Adeola, please bring all your hair pieces. I'm like, so I've now turned Kukuma, see me speaking, Kukuma.
Oh,
this is why when I talk to you, you bring out the Nigerian in me so much. Like, but the thing is, like, they get comfortable with, okay, we know that when she comes, she has the bob, she has that I paid
yourself.
No, like things that I paid for myself.
Yeah.
You know? And they use 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 and they use. And it's just like, guys, when are you going to actually go and get?
I also had to start doing that. I had to start carrying. And at that time, again, it wasn't drugstore, Clicks, Discount.
No, it wasn't.
It was Mac, Lancome.
Yes.
And these were expensive
things.
They were expensive.
So, and I think I started getting a bit resentful at some point in time because I'm thinking to myself, okay,
because you're getting paid as a model and as a model
only. But now here I am bringing my makeup, bringing my expensive weaves.
Yeah.
For you to come and damage and for you to use. So then when it finishes, I have to now replenish it. So it's like, why am I doing your job? Yeah. And then why are you getting the credit? Because in the magazines, they'll write it there, hair by. Hair was not by, I did it myself. Like, are you joking? What do you mean hair by? Like, I did my own hair myself, and then you're writing their hair by, then I Van der Hespesen. Like, what? Like, what? Are you joking?
Yeah.
So they don't give credit where it's due, number one. Number two, nobody ever says, oh, by the way, thank you so much for helping us. At least, even if I'm not asking you to plaster my name, appreciate what I've done.
Yeah.
Because without a lot of things that I brought, that picture would not have looked the way
like
it looked.
That, yeah. I think I modeled for 2 years and probably maybe like 8 months, 10 months in, I realized I need to start bringing my own things. I think there's only one experience where the makeup artist was like, thank you for bringing your foundation, but wrote down, because you'd have the numbers, wrote down the numbers so she can.
I'm going, yeah.
That's the only time I believed that in a person, a makeup artist, when they were like, thank you for bringing your own makeup. Yeah. Because she took intention in going to make sure it was part of her
and she
kit.
was also humble enough to learn, so to speak, you know, from you. Yeah. Like the one thing that used to drive me nuts the most was when they tell me how many years of experience they have in hair and makeup, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, then if that's the case, why are we here struggling? And why am I gray? You know? So it's like people who actually want to learn. Some people, oh, okay, so we don't use hairspray for, so edge control? No, honey. Gel, edge control, depending on, now you have to teach them, our hair is this, like, you know? You know something? When I was getting ready to come here today, I just took my hair out. So I was blow drying my hair and I was putting like the oils and stuff. And it just dawned on me, like, you know what? I am so mad at myself for believing these people when I was younger, when they said to me, don't put oil in your hair because that means you put product in your hair and we can't work with it. So now I'll rock up with dry scalp because I don't want to seem like I'm the black model that came on set with dirty hair. Meanwhile, all I've done was moisturize my hair.
Wow.
I got it a lot of times. A lot of times. Oh, there's product in your hair. And I'm black. There's meant to be. Like, if not, it's just going to be a frizzy shit show.
Yeah, that is so true.
This morning, I was like, whoa.
Wow.
I believe them.
Wow.
I believe them.
The amount of damage psychologically. And that's why I'm always so grateful for the advocates who just kept pushing the boundaries and calling out people when it came to makeup, when it came to understanding black hair and things like that. Because at the time, for a lot of people, you just took it. You took it as your problem, your issue, and and that was just that. Mm-hmm. I remember when we were putting together the YouTube tour, and the only person I was adamant that needed to be part of, so we had the 6 creators that would travel, but they would have creators in each city.
Yep.
And the only creator from the cities that I was adamant on being part of, like the creators, like the beauty creators, because there were so many beauty creators that she wasn't the biggest at the time. So people were like, oh, why are we putting her on the calendar? She's not the biggest. She was, at that time, dark-skinned beauty influencer. And that's Vongai. And today, you still don't see, if you're a beauty influencer, there's a certain cut of like shade that is like, it's on this tier and not on that tier. But because I knew my experience in going into these rooms as a model and like having to bring my own foundation, and then even when people started recognizing that, oh, they needed to bring foundation in their kits, darker skin tones in their kits, I remember, because it's my usual behavior of bringing my makeup with me. How some makeup artists would get offended that I brought my own makeup.
I never understood that. I got that a lot too.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
I can't guarantee what I'm walking into.
I never really got that. Like, why take offense?
Yeah.
Because y'all went to the same makeup school. And y'all know what they taught you. So why are you offended?
And it's so true. And I remember with the tour, I was like, there's a ton of beauty influencers, but dark-skinned girls need more people to show them that as a dark-skinned girl, you can do makeup on. I remember I asked this other beauty influencer, I was like, oh, I'm trying to find like a bronzer for my skin. Her recommendation could not have been my foundation. It was too bright. It was too light. And I was just like, I don't think people realize the extent of psychologically. And so for me, I was just like, I'm not willing to put up with all of this.
It's like rejection across the board.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Across the board. So I always look at like you and some other models, because at that time it was Kate. Kate was also around.
Yes.
Happy and still modeling, but that whole crew. And I'd always look at you girls and be like, with the admiration to be able to handle a lot of these things. Also because your jobs were dependent on your previous jobs and people talking in the small industry.
Yeah.
Was there any point where you were just like, I think I might be done with this industry?
Oh, yeah. I had that thought more than twice. But on 2 separate occasions, I thought I was done. So the first time was, I think it was in 2009, actually. Because I was like, sorry, I'm losing my hairline.
Yeah.
Like, what? Do you know how long my hair was when I came to this country? My hair was beautiful. My hair was thick. It was, my hairline. And I was like, I'm losing my hairline. This thing is taking away from me certain things that I might not be able to get back.
Yeah.
Am I sure I want this? And at the same time, I'm getting like, my family, my parents, you need to come home, move back home. Sorry, mommy, sorry, daddy, but that's how y'all sounded. Move back home.
Yeah.
What are you still doing there? And I'm like...
Because also, this conversation, also, and it's a whole other one that I don't even want to get into, but the xenophobic experiences.
It was around that time.
Thank you. Because I remember.
It was around that time.
Because you start getting calls. Yep. Why are you there?
It was around that time.
Yeah.
And this is what, over 10 years ago?
Yeah.
So we were in our 20s.
Yep.
Female.
Yeah.
Alone. So I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time to go back to England. That's where I really want to be. That's where I was supposed to be if I had not come here in the first place.
Okay.
Because that was my plan, to go back to England to start university. So, all those thoughts kept coming through my head, like, oh, my friends, like, I feel like I'm losing a touch of home. Because at the time, Nigerians were not so...
Listen. We were, so much so.
We're like this. Literally. So I kept feeling, I wouldn't speak my language for months. I'm like, no. I need to leave because, number one, this that I'm doing here, no, I can do it in other countries. Yeah. Why do I feel the need to be stuck in this Cape Town? Why? Yeah. So I decided that, okay, I'm moving back to England, told the agency, everything. I'm done. But I have agencies
as well
over there. So like, whatever. What happened? Hi, Adeola. So good news. You've just been booked for Sports Illustrated. I'm like, who? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just stay.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Because then after sports, I started working again. Like crazy. And then after a few years, my parents again, you need to go back to England. You left, because I did go. And I came back.
Yeah.
You left because of man. You left. I'm like, wow, guys. It was not a man. There was no man involved in my deciding to go back to where my heart is. Because I found that, no, why am I going to Nigeria? We'll be dragging electricity. Our phones are dead by the time we wake up. You're stuck in traffic for 4 hours. Blah, blah, blah. There's water, or you're in the shower, and then suddenly the water stops. That time, there's soap all over you. Then you're screaming out the window, Mr. John, put the pumping machine on. Like, what kind of struggle is that? I'm like, there's no way. I'm not doing that.
And people don't understand. People don't understand.
The struggle.
This is not
or there's no electricity for like a week.
Exactly.
And I'm like, no, why? When, even if I'm broke in Cape Town, you will never know.
At all.
You can never know. Because why? I can walk to my house, to my car station. Is it bread? Is it noodles? Is it my house? You will never know. Yeah. Be broke in Nigeria.
You will see it.
Be broke in Nigeria. If there's anything I learned how to do was to survive while being broke. I don't know. It was it's a superpower. How to survive while being broke. Because this modeling, you can make 500,000 rand this month. Next month, there's nothing. The following month is 2 grand.
Yeah.
There's no balance. And I was younger then, so I was living my best life, like not really saving so much, like, the next job will come, that kind of thing. And I was just like, no, I prefer to be in Cape Town because I don't have to spend to enjoy myself. I can go and take a walk by the ocean. That's enough for me. Like, so I was like, guys, I'm coming back. Came back. Okay, so now that you're back, what are you going to do? You need to. I said, guys, leave me. I don't know, because right now I am not your typical child that went to primary, secondary, college, university, made friends in university, probably has a boy she likes, maybe ends up getting... I don't have that typical... I don't. So don't be asking me typical questions because I'm not typical. You can't be asking me things that I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. So I was just like, whatever makes me happy. And that's when I started doing this.
Yeah.
I do what makes me happy.
How old were you when you decided, when you made that decision, okay, cool, I'll do what makes me happy?
I was 23.
Okay.
It was my 23rd. I remember, because I was just like 21, 20, you're still just reckless, And then not only are you reckless, you're selfish in your recklessness.
Yeah.
Because you don't care. But then the older you get, you start realizing that actually, no, people are human beings and they have feelings. So you can't just be doing things just because. Like, make yourself happy, yes, but make sure that it's not to the detriment of somebody else's, So it was after then I was just like, okay, this modeling thing is working. I think I did a movie. I can't even remember. Things were happening. I don't know if it was that year, but things were just like happening?
Yeah.
I was like, this is nice. You know, like, why am I leaving a place where I'm making money
Yeah.
to go somewhere else where I'm not sure how I'll be making money because I did not have my degree at the time. So I was not going to go to a 9 to 5 and do what there? Like, I've never done a 9 to 5. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so it was just kind of, I had to accept that I'm not normal. I'm not your normal, we wrote it down, 3-year plan. I always tell people, don't ask me for a 3-year plan. Don't ask me for a 1-month plan.
Anything can happen.
Because that's the life that I was used to.
Yeah.
My suitcase was always not packed up anywhere. It was there because you have to go, you know.
Yeah.
So like I got accustomed to just doing.
Yeah.
You know, and there was no plan. We were just going. Wherever that wind takes us, we just go, you know. That's how I lived.
Which looks, especially to like our parents and especially in older generation, as
So
a reckless. Exactly.
Reckless. I'm a jatty.
Doing
rubbish.
It's just like all over the place. No vision, no
vision,
direction.
Nothing, no direction.
All of that.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately is even kind of, I don't want to say it's the norm now because it's not, but
it kind of is.
Within our communities though.
Some people are coming, see.
Because I always have to remember that there's lawyers and like accountants and like, you know.
They're hating on us. Don't worry. They're hating on us. They're hating on us. I wanted to study law. Why you said lawyer? I saw my one friend. She looked like shit. I said to her, Ada, your hair. So, babes, I'm studying. You know, I said, what?
Wow. Yeah.
Because you're studying, so you can't, your hair is scanty. No. That's why I was like, I can't do that.
For me, I'm just like, do what you love. Because everything has its challenges.
Period.
And so make sure that the challenges that you face is to create an outcome that you love.
Period.
That's it.
Period. Period.
And that's a Mary had a little lamb.
Like, seriously, because like, and I feel like my parents are only just understanding that now.
Yeah.
And my parents are not your typical Nigerians.
Yeah, even mine.
My parents are so laid back, like they're chill.
But they were still, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I still got it hard from them. Imagine if I had strict parents, I would not even be a model in the first place.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
You know, so like they needed to kind of understand that I'm not living my life recklessly. I've just chosen not to conform.
Yeah.
Because typical, by 23 you should be married though. That why? When I still have the rest of my life, like, are you joking?
The amount of...
You know, things like that.
Yeah, the amount of segues we can go into this conversation.
This conversation can literally...
I'm trying to because I always want to bring, just...
No, but it's all part of it because it's also things that I think about now that I'm older because I'm like, I'm not married. I don't have children. Typically, I should have had, 4 by now.
3 kids, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not that person. And it's not everyone back home that understands that. I can meet an aunt now that I haven't seen in 3 years, and the first thing she'll do is look at my hand. So, no ring. Did you wash it? Did you take it to clean? Like, throwing shade. Like, I'm like, are you drunk?
Oh my gosh, that is listen, I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine about that, and it's like, it will even be people who are not even happy in their own marriages that are just, listen, so that's why I was like, we can segue this conversation in a whole different direction. But
no, I remember when she asked me, and I'm looking at her like, but your kids ain't married, so like, what are you talking about? But if I talk now, you're being disrespectful. You know? So like, and I feel like that's also another reason why I've kind of not gone back home.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to, I will stand out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not your typical, like, please. I am not. And I'm loving the fact that a lot of people back home now
are now starting to have that lifestyle. Yeah. Yeah.
So now I feel like I can go home. Back then, there's no way.
That's true.
There's no way. Because there's no way.
Yeah.
No.
Sure. But here you are, brand ambassador of this brand, African brand ambassadors. Actually, if there was ever a time that I saw you going from here, you'd go to, was it London or New York? You'd go to a lot during that time. Or like do the campaigns. You'd shoot
in New York. New York, yeah.
You'd shoot the campaigns in New York and then bring it back here. Talk to me about when that happened. Yeah.
So, Wow. That happened on what was supposed to be my last year at university.
Okay.
So I got told by my agency that they wanted to meet me and they were looking for like the new face and blah, blah, blah. And there were a couple of girls they were looking at and stuff like that. And in typical Adeola fashion, I'm like, I'm sure they'll you probably use someone, it wouldn't be me, whatever, you know. So I didn't even really think too much into it. Mm-hmm. I met them, I was myself. That's all I could have done.
Yeah.
Because they had already done their homework. And back then I used to tweet crazy. Wow. I used to tweet. Wow. I've grown, eh?
Yeah.
I used to tweet so like they knew me before they met me. Because they had to do all their little...
Yeah.
Because I need to represent.
Yeah.
You know? Met them, we had a conversation, loved them, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Father, Lord, it's in your hands. Mm-hmm. I had my last exam, I think, a few weeks after that meeting, and I had failed woefully. You know when you just know?
Yeah.
I was like, this...
Oh yeah, this one didn't work out. You know, let's just leave it
because
as
like the questions, I was like, yeah, nah, man, you know. Like, I was like, yeah, nah. Yeah. So here I am. I was in, whatever it was, not table view, Milnerton.
Yeah.
Somewhere there. Mm-hmm. Walking. Have you ever walked one sorrow walk that's... You are walking and you're thinking about your life and everything is just like, vroom. Like, I was just walking.
Yeah.
Then I get a call from the agency. I'm like, oh God, what now? Like, this is not the time. Like, I'm really, like, I think I was crying. Because I was just like, when is this thing going to end? I try. But somehow, this particular paper, I failed again. Like, what is it, you know? I knew why, though. I'd been partying. I was not... But let's just pretend. So then they call me, like, Adeola, can you please come through to the agency? I'm like, why? What have I done? Because from past experiences, when you call me like that to come to any agency, office, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh God, what have I gone and done now? Mind you, Arden was not even...
Yeah, because you learn to do...
you do, and then if you don't
forget.
hear it like a week or two,
yeah.
you're like, I beg, they're not even...
out of your mind.
Do you know what I mean? And then I get there, and everyone is smiling. I'm like, guys, what's going on? Because like, I just had the worst paper ever. And my booker just came with a bouquet of flowers on top. You're the new brand. I'm like, woo! Did I not run onto Bree Street and scream?
Oh my gosh.
I screamed.
Oh.
I literally fell on my knees and I cried. Yeah. Because for the longest time, it's getting me so freaking emotional just even thinking about it. For the longest time, I was like, oh my God, I'm dark skinned. Yeah. First of all, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's almost like all the rejection and all the beauty. Yeah. There was no magazine that I was not in.
Yeah. Listen.
Beauty. Okay, beauty. You guys have seen my face so much. Aren't you tired? Yeah. Like, and I was like, whoa. And then all the jobs like Nivea, all these other brands that I was always so close to getting, and nothing. And then suddenly this just comes and it's like, I'm like, hang on. So, let's talk numbers. So,
let's talk. Mm-hmm.
When I saw the numbers, I was like, wait a minute. This is worth every single stupid makeup artist that made me look grey. It's worth all the freaking hair that I lost. It's worth everything. Because in my mind, I'm like, wow, everything that everything that I put down, mm-hmm. all the hard work, the sacrifices, everything is coming into light. And I'm just like, Father Lord, I don't know what I've done, but thank you for this, because I'm not only just going to be a face. I have a voice now.
Yeah.
And it was from that moment I said, all of you. that have ever made me look stupid. Like, that's when I started talking.
Wow.
Because I am like, I have a voice. And if there's any other way to use it, is about this, my skin tone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't believe, like, me, this same me, that how many years ago the agency were telling me, oh, because you're not working, you're going to have to leave, and blah, blah. If I had left, where would I have been? I'd have been married to one Dakpo in Ibadan.
Not Ibadan. My mom's from Ibadan, by the way. She's going to look at this and just laugh. She didn't marry Ibadan, though. She married from Ilorin.
I'd have been married to Olumide with 4 kids. Like,
and not that is a problem.
It's not a problem, but it's like,
but it's not what we
I chased
want.
my dream.
Exactly.
I didn't give up. I think about it now because I'm like, whoa, I would have been one of those. Yeah. In one van. Screaming, Kule, stop it! Tutiti, stop that! Like, can you imagine?
Oh my word.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And just like that, everything just changed. Everything changed. I was finally being seen as not just a model, but like people could now, oh wow, you're so articulate. I'm like, okay. So smart. Oh, I'm like, you study psychology. Ooh, I'm like, yeah, like models are smart, you know, we study. I have a lot of models that are in finance, law, medicine, like, you know, like, and then I saw it as an opportunity to basically like speak up. And that's what I did, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah. And that's how I became the face of a brand that I was just like, wow, guys, this is so surreal, but it's happening, and I'm thankful. Yeah, so it's been worth it.
Listen, we haven't even gotten to like adding on TV presenter or any of those things.
Part 2.
Obviously going to happen.
Definitely.
But I remember that moment, because I even remember the image that is stuck in my mind is your Vuzu interview, I think at the announcement.
Can't imagine.
I don't know if you were crying or much.
I must have been.
But just the emotional thing of like, and also understanding as a dark-skinned black girl.
With braces. I had braces.
Yeah.
I bagged my beauty campaign with braces on, guys. Like, I had, God is good.
It was such a beautiful moment. So, we'll have part 2.
Yes, please.
But thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for almost making me cry.
Oh, listen, you almost made me cry. One point, I was like, Moyin,
me too. I was like, get your together. Don't you dare. Like,
listen, there's so much we can talk about. But thank you for sharing, because I know that for a lot of people watching, especially dark-skinned black girls, it's just going to be a beautiful conversation to listen to. So, thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.